Start spreading the new.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
New York, I love you. I love New York.
Rose trying to get open, fires away. Bang! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer! Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection. Puts up the three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang!
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Off the Ball podcast with me, your host, Chris LeBron. On today's show, we got a good one for you guys. We're going to talk about all things Summer League, all things Knicks. On the pod today, got for the first time on the pod, my guy State from New York. What's going on, bro?
Yo, what's good, bro?
How's everything, man?
Good Sunday. You know, everybody, families is out right now. I wish I was out, but I'm about to head to the family business, but I'm chilling right now, man. So let's talk some Knicks.
Let's do it. So obviously, Summer League is concluded for the Knicks. So a couple interesting prospects that the Knicks had. Obviously, some guys they drafted last year, some guys they picked up this year, you know, Diwara and Ding Pei. So what was your expectations, first of all, going into the Summer League? Like, what were you thinking about? You know, what was your thought process, you know, for Summer League?
I thought we had the most talented, team. Of course, you're a Knicks fan. But at the same time, I wanted to see progress from individual players in Summer League. And I seen some things I liked. I seen certain things I didn't like. But overall, I felt like their record should have been better than 1-4. I attribute it to directly players just playing selfish a little bit. And, you know, sometimes when you got a bunch of players who's playing for contracts, a bunch of players who's vying for 2 to 3 roster spots, you get selfish play at times. And, you know, that's what I chalk it up to. But outside of that, my expectations was to see certain young players get better and look better. I guess we'll get into that. But outside of that, not too much, bro. Because this is a championship team. And, and this team, well, this is a championship-driven team right now. And this team needs specific kind of players to fit into their system, because when your best player is Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, you need certain kind of players. So that's what I was looking for in Summer League. And, yeah, I found a couple players in my eyes that, you know, stood out.
I like that you brought up that about just when players are fighting for their NBA lives, that it's going to be a different type of basketball, right? You know, guys are kind of look for their own, right? Like, you know, I know it's a team game. We know that, but hey, man, there's only a few spots. You know, like you said, this is a championship caliber team. So there's only a couple spots that are there. So, how do you – and I talked about this on a few times in my pod. How do you balance that? That balancing act for a coach or players, trying to balance playing team ball. But I got to show out because I want a roster spot, or at least show out for another team that could pick me up on the 2 or whatever, you know? So that balancing act, I think there was a big – especially the first few games where it was nasty, right? It was nasty basketball. I think that I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a big thing. When guys are trying to fight for their NBA lives, man, it's, you know, you might not see the best basketball, you know, especially playing against other guys who were in the same boat, you know?
Yeah, you got a guy like Tyler Kolek who's playing trash, to put it nicely. It's going to be tough for the other guys to get their own shots. So that's why I got Mohamed Diawara. He had 17 points one game. I know the other game he's very pedestrian, and then he was out with injury. It's kind of tough to gouge a guy like, you know, Tyler, you know, no, not even Tyler Kolek, a guy like Mohamed Diawara, Mohamed Diawara, and those guys, when Tyler Kolek is on the court playing like garbage. He played better the last couple of games, but No, that wasn't enough in my opinion. I just feel like Tyler Kolek, undersized guard. We don't need that right now. What the Knicks need is players like Dink Pate, Mohamed Diawara. I like what they did in summer league. James Nanji, still too young, still too raw.
He's super raw still.
Yeah, up and down summer league. Kevin McCullough, love the summer league, but didn't love it. Played very selfish. A lot of guys on his shots that he shot was wide open. I know he had 30 points one game. I didn't even like the 30-point game. I've even judged Jalen Brunson in games where he scored 30 in.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you're ball hogging. I don't got time for that. So that's how I felt with him and B-Champ. So when you get that, you're going to get selfish play. But outside of the selfish play, Dink Pate and Mohamed Diawara showed the most promise to me, to the point where I'm like, yo, Diawara and Dink Pate, they should be in the rotation. Pacone, he should be in the rotation. But Knicks got so many pieces. They got a strong 9-man unit right now. Hopefully 10. So we'll see.
So obviously, you mentioned Tyler, and he was someone that's going to have a big, potentially a role on this team, being the backup point guard. So you wasn't really thrilled about his performance in summer league, from what it sounds like.
Nah, but his assist to turnover ratio was good. His percentages weren't good. I think
he missed a lot of open. That, to me, the one concerning thing is the missing the wide open shots. It's like, that's one thing. If you're contested, I get that you can miss contested shots. Like I said, he's undersized, but he missed a lot of open, wide open. Like it was like nobody was near him. That was a little bit concerning.
Yeah. Under 35% from the field, under 20% from three. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for you. On the other hand, when I look at a guy like Dink Pate, and I'm like, yo, how is his shooting? He shot 40% from the field. The one thing that stood out though, he shot 50% from three. He shot basically 89% from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
So the jump shot is there, even though it's unorthodox. And then the rebounding, he averaged 6.8 rebounds. So like the rebounding is there. And then the assist is there, like 2.8 assists. I know the team shot horrible from three. Nobody could hit the basket.
They were terrible. Yeah, that was another thing too. Overall, the team they was bricking everything wide open too. Like that pissed me off.
Yeah, that starts with your point guard though. That starts with when you got bad point guard play, it pleases and everything. I love what I seen from Dink Pate. What I say, 20 and 10 your last game. You seen you? Hey, I can't get mad at that.
So let's talk about Dink, because I had him as a draftable guy. Like I had him top 60 on my board. I know you do some draft stuff too yourself. So did you have any evaluations of him? Pre-draft, did you know much about him?
No, I did not. And once the Knicks picked him up, because what I've been wanting from the draft is, you got to go for the high upside guy, bro. You can't go for these older guys. And like Kevin McCullough Jr., that's Tibbs written all over him. Tyler Kolek, Tibbs. Pacone Daddy, he's probably even Tibbs. But, we got Mike Brown this year. You notice like the picks we got. Diwara and Dink Pate, tall, long, athletic, got some playmaking ability, right? Dink Pate, I think he played like 50+ games professional before summer league. It started at 17. So
he was he was with the Ignite, and then when that got defunct, he went to Mexico City, and the numbers got better with them. Yeah.
So
that he was someone that I was intrigued about because of the upside, and the athleticism. And I know people look at his splits, and I tell people like sometimes splits, stats, especially if you're playing overseas or in college, they can lie. Everything has context to it. And I was like, you got to read more into it. And his situation wasn't ideal, with the G League. That was a whole mess. Obviously, they're not even around no more, the Ignite. It's not even a thing anymore. And in Mexico City, like I remember talking to someone who knew a lot about him, and they were like, yo, he played better, but it's like that situation was wild playing in Mexico. Like just imagine again, you a teenager and you got to go play in Mexico, and this cartel stuff. He was telling me crazy stories about it. I was like, that was wild, but he did get better, a lot better. The splits were still low, but he still improved from shooting like 35% in the G League with the Ignite, for shooting like low 40s, and like you saw the potential was there, and he was a gym rat. So he was someone I was really intrigued. And like you said, the Knicks need more athletes. We need more athleticism. And with getting Mohamed Diawara and getting Dink, they added those, and with high upside too, because like I said, we took a bunch of guys who were 4-year guys last year. And Pacome was more as a project, but we need to get some high, upside guys and see if they can hit, and that's why I didn't know too much about Mohamed Diawara, but I knew that was a strictly upside type of pick, and I'm sure you were thrilled with what you saw for him, especially offensively, which is the one spot people were like, that's the one thing that he's going to struggle with early on, but. I mean, I know you saw he looked pretty comfortable with the rock in his hand.
Yeah, he showed flashes. The percentages were still garbage, 15.4% from three. But I love the attempts from three, like the step back three attempts. The fact that he has the confidence to even take that was cool to me. 40% from the field. I think that's attributed to bad point guard play. He averaged 22.3 minutes per game, 7 point rebounds. The things that you like though, the 5.3 rebounds, you love that he can muck it up, and 1.8 assists, right? You love the 1 steal per game too. No, I think it was 1 steal, 1.3 steals per game. It was one of the two. But anyways, 0 blocks in summer league. He is too tall to have 0 blocks. I think that's attributed to his hands being down.
He does play low. He does play really low.
Yeah, like he should be way more vertical. I think, that should be the main job in Knicks management, to get him to play more vertical. And perimeter threat, like he showed the coast to coast game, grab the rebound, go coast to coast, get a steal, go coast to coast. I like that. I like his skill set too. Not a shot blocker though.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's tough. That's tough for me. I can't have that next to Karl-Anthony Towns.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I can if he could develop it. He could always develop it at 20.
Do you think he can? Do you think he can though? Because he has the wingspan. He's got like a 7'5" wingspan. He's 6'8". You're like, have you seen enough to be like, okay, that's something with eventually maybe a few years he could develop being a rim protector?
Yeah, it's gonna take some time though. You're gonna have to drill.
I didn't see much of it, and I said it's just summer league. It's only a few games, but I didn't see it right now.
I see it either. Like the 0 blocks. Like you're mad tall, bro. Like that's like Miles Turner getting no rebounds. Like that. I have an issue with that.
Yeah, and another thing I like from him is the playmaking. Like I saw a lot, especially in that first game. He had that pass to Luka Skuka. Like that was like, okay, I didn't expect that. So there's some of that, especially in the high post, and we'll talk about Mike Brown. Like he likes to work a lot of his bigs in the high post. So that was very intriguing to see that aspect of his game. Like I said, I didn't expect a lot offensively from him, and he wound up showing me being more impressive offensively than he was defensively. Which is, and I said it was supposed to be the opposite, but go back to Dink. He was really impressive to me. I think he did a lot better, than I even anticipated. I didn't know how much they would feature him, because obviously the focus is going to be on McCullers, is going to be on Kolick, going to be on Pacome, like they're guys they drafted, Diwara. But I think Dink, like you said, he could rebound the ball. If the shot's not going down, he's going to be active. He's going to get the ball, didn't attack. Defensively did some good things. So a lot of things that people were so stressed about with him, why he didn't go drafted, which I think he was a draftable player. He was impressive, man. And it makes you think. And I told people before this, and a lot of people were like, why are you hyping up a guy that was on draft? I was like, because you really there's something there. I see it. I was like, if we could develop him properly, there's something really there, State. Like there could be a rotational player. Like there's something there. And I think you see the vision too. Like if he is properly handled, this could be something. This could be something. And get him as an undrafted dude, like that's, and he's a. I talked to a lot of people. They're like, he's a top 20 talent in this draft. He's talent alone. He's top 20. But obviously, everything that transpired, it wound up leading him to not getting drafted. But I think there's something there, and he showed out. I think he was really impressive.
Hopefully they play him out the gate. That's what I'm hoping for, man.
But there's hope now, right? Because with Tibbs, you would have been like, hell no. He got no chance of 0.0 chance of playing. But with Mike Brown, it's like he might, maybe not off the rip, but eventually, he might get some minutes, some real minutes.
Hopefully we'll see, man. I like the talent. Mike Brown was front row, so if you got the same eyes a lot of us seeing, hey, you need a talent like that on the roster, man. Because the Knicks roster right now, they just devoid of playmaking and guys that could dribble the basketball.
No,
two main skills that this Knicks roster needs.
And
but I love his play, though. I love his talent. Love what he did on both sides of the ball. Very active, rebounding, by the way. I think that's the
shot the ball pretty solid for a guy that people were complaining about can't shoot.
Yeah.
I know the shot's funky, but I don't really care how the shot looks. Does it go in? Because Cole's shot is all right. Looks good, but it didn't go in. So that's my So Mike Brown's the new head coach. Man, Tibbs is gone. I know you're happy about that. Well, first of all, how did you what was your initial reaction when you heard that Mike Brown was going to be the new head coach? Did you do any deep diving into the offense and try to vision what the team could possibly look like with Mike Brown being the head coach now?
I did. Little Princeton offense. We run UCLA action. Run a lot of DHOs. Yeah. Mike Brown he was like 10th on my list. I wasn't really high on Mike Brown. I didn't want no retread coach, but I can understand why you go get Mike Brown. 300. I think how many wins Mike Brown got? 370 plus.
Yeah, in that range. Yeah.
He's been an assistant head coach with LeBron on Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a head coach on the Lakers. He's been a head coach for the Sacramento Kings. Been to various stops. He's had like the most effective offense of all time at one point with the 2022-2023 Kings. Has a good playoff record percentage that I really like. The people that say, "Oh, he lived off LeBron." I mean, hey, you need great players to win. Duh.
Right? I hate when people say that. Like, like Phil Jackson needed good players. Like, of course, that's how you win.
Of course,
you need good players to win championships.
It's the name of the game. But it wasn't really too high on him. But I did my research on him and stuff, and I like what I seen. So it's a wait and see season for me. But he's not the guy that's championship or bust. It's really Leon Rose, because Leon Rose got a chance to change the roster again, because this is not a Mike Brown roster. This is still a Tibbs roster. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why there's no athleticism. And it's a lot of nepotism going on with the roster. And there's going to have to be to a point where Leon Rose is going to say, the hell with this, and trade some of Jalen Brunson's guys in order to get what he needs. Because, listen, like, the Villanova championship, it's cool.
I feel
was years ago. Yeah, like basketball was played differently. Like, I need somebody who could score the basketball, put the ball in the hoop. So, nepotism. It's a lot with this roster, but Knicks will get it right. I think Leon Rose is gonna do right. I think he's gonna do a trade or whatnot, just to get a playmaker really on the roster. That's what he really needs.
So that's going to transition to my next thing, was the Knicks roster itself. And obviously with Mike Brown, it's a completely different offense now under Tibbs. Tibbs was essentially, Brunson, do your thing, high pick and roll, cat, just ISO ball, right? And now you're going to have, and a coach that's actually going to run sets. Like I said, a lot of UCLA sets and all that, a lot of motion, a lot of actions, a lot of cuts, so there's going to be a lot more. So do you feel that the Knicks need to make and I've seen you on Twitter be that you said that the Knicks need to make something big happen. So do you feel like, what is that move if you think they need to make a big move?
I have no idea now. It's quiet on the Giannis front, quiet on the LeBron front. Melo ain't getting traded. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm not trading Mikal Bridges for Kobe White. So, like, it's – I don't know, bro. If you'd asked me this, like, 2 weeks prior to today, I probably would have gave you a better answer. But as far as right now, I think they're just going to run it back. I think. I don't know, but
I think so too.
Leon Rose probably still has a rabbit up his sleeve because you just can't run it back with this roster. They don't have no playmaking. Who's playmaking? Like that's the one thing that aggravates me with this roster. Like they got a whole
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
So that's the one thing. That's the one thing Leon missing. Outside of that, man, he got everything else. He got everything else. Mike Brown got everything else to succeed. I just don't think he got enough ball handling. That's all.
So I agree with you. I think they're going to run it back, but is a championship a bust though? If you run in the back and you got a couple upgrades on the bench for Clarkson and Yabusele, you expecting the young guys to take another step? Like, is it championship or bust? And does that put us in a tough position where, I mean, listen, the East is kind of wide open. We know Boston, they just made a bunch of moves. Tatum's probably going to be out for the season. The Pacers, one went away from a finals, but now that team looks completely different than it did. So the East is, I know the Magic made a move. They got Desmond Bain. Cavs have what they have. They were the number one seed. And so is it wide open that they're like, man, it's championship or bust? Is that the mindset?
Not for Mike Brown. It is for Leon.
That's what I'm saying, because like they could have two different minds. Like Mike Brown could be like, all right, I got the vision for like 2 years, but Leon could be like, yo, I can, this is it.
Gotta have it for 5. You gave Tibbs 5 years. So we only gonna be fair.
It's New York, dog. It's New York. So like, if we don't, if it's anything less than what we did this year, conference finals, they know this.
That's Leon for why you didn't make a trade.
Yeah,
you got Mike Brown with Tibbs roster.
Exactly. Yeah.
Come on.
Because I like Josh Hart specifically. I don't think Josh Hart fits Mike Brown. I think Josh Hart is a Tibbs guy. I don't think he fits Mike Brown at all. So like you said, like, do you ruin the dynamic because that's Brunson's guy? So do you trade Brunson's guy, and now Brunson's gonna be feeling some
traded Dante. Traded Dante.
Yeah. But there's probably levels to the Brunson tree of, and I think Josh Hart's probably higher on that guys, his guys. But do you ruin that dynamic? I think it's a little bit of a tough situation with that stuff. That's the thing.
Friends don't lead to championships.
I know. I'm with you. I agree.
So.
But do they want to upset a guy who took a pay cut, a massive pay cut? State like he took a massive pay cut, like so they feel obligated to him.
Yeah, but so you ain't take a pay cut to pay Mikal. Mikal not good enough. So that was asinine within itself for him to even take a pay cut.
I thought that was crazy. I didn't expect that. I remember I thought he was taking every dollar humanly possible. When he took that, I was like, oh. But now the expectations, everybody got to take a pay cut now. Except for OG. OG got his bread. He said, nah, I'm good.
OG said, I'm not taking a pay cut. You traded me. Yeah, I got leverage. Mikal, I'm not taking a pay cut. Okay, you need to get traded then, because I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you upset Brunson? It's a good question.
That's the thing. That's what I'm thinking. Like, yo, do they, like I said, I don't think Josh's fits what Mike Brown does, but do you mess up morale if you trade him? That's my thinking. I don't know. Like, do you want to mess that up?
That's a wait and see question. That's a Leon Rose. But it depends, yo. It depends. It depends on what Leon Rose want to do, bro. To be honest with you, like
yeah.
I don't have a definite answer right now for that.
What do you think Leon's thinking right now? What do you think Leon's thinking? He's thinking he's just sitting back in the cut. He's just waiting. Hey man, like you mentioned before, the East is open. Let's just, or do you think he has something potentially up his sleeve?
Hopefully, he making.
He's a mystery man. Like we don't know. He don't talk, so we don't know.
Hopefully, he making calls, man. That's the least I could, pray for. Hopefully, he making calls and he ain't sleeping and resting on his morals. That's the least I could hope for, bro. Because at this point, you don't have another playmaker, and you still kind of need to rest assured, like the wing position, just in case. So he got 2 jobs, and he got a tough decision to make, but I think he'll make that decision before September 1st. That's why, like, each day that goes by, I'm like, oh, he ain't re-signed Mikel, none of them yet. I know what's going on. So when it comes to Leon, yeah, I trust him. Now, if he don't make a trade and the Knicks don't get to the finals, my first question is, like, why would you even have Mike Brown with a Tibbs roster? So that's where I'm at with it when it comes to, like, Mike Brown and expectations for Leon. Leon is championship or bust for you. It's up to you to go get a playmaker. It's not up to Mike Brown. Mike Brown might ask for somebody, so who knows? Who knows? Within the next week, he might ask for somebody for sure. No new coach comes into a new team without somebody who has already played under him.
Yeah,
that's how that goes.
I think maybe they wanted to see how Summer League went, just to see, maybe, especially with Tyler and all these other guys, see how that goes, and then sit down in the lab and be like, okay, I don't, maybe Mike Brown's like, I don't feel comfortable with Tyler being the primary backup to Jalen. So what do we do? And we got another vet min spot up for grabs. Do we try to find someone that could take that spot? Because I feel like this. I like Tyler a lot, but if I'm the front office, I'm thinking, okay, we need to get somebody else in here. Like I said, a playmaker. So, and I know you've been big on this one guy, and that's Mr. Ben Simmons, and we know what he could do, in the past. So why do you feel like Ben Simmons would be a good piece for this New York Knicks team?
Yeah, he played multiple positions, 1 through 5. And he could generate 3-point shots. He did that at a high clip. His first couple of years in the league. So those two mainly. I know the mental is not right. And he can also defend as well. You put him out there with OG and Mikel. Now you got a guy who could get into the lane constantly. I think that'd be a great move for the New York Knicks. Shouts to Jake Fisher, because he already reported that New York Knicks is still checking in on Ben Simmons, trying to see what he's going to do. So hopefully within the next 24 hours, the Knicks pick him up. And then now we're looking at the team. We're like, oh, okay, now we're building something now. But I think even if you do pick up Ben Simmons, I think you probably still will have to make another trade. I like Ben Simmons. Okay, Ben Simmons, Jordan Clarkson, Josh Hart, Garrison Yabusele. No, that don't work. That don't work. So, yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. So did you like the pickups of Clarkson and Yabusele?
Yeah, those pickups was great. Both shoot above 40% from 3. So on above the break 3. So that's what you like to see. As long as you get some shooters in here and guys who's tall, who's not under 6'5", then yeah, I was good with it. Yabusele was on my radar as well. Could play backup center, backup power forward, backup small forward. So, Jordan Clarkson plays some shooting. He plays shooting guard. He plays some point guard. But you don't want to play in point guard the whole time because he don't pass the damn ball. But outside of that, yeah, I like their pickups though. Free agency.
Yeah, I like the Yabusele pickup especially. I thought to me he's a player that's probably double his salary, but obviously the market kind of dried up, which for everyone the market dried up. Like, this year nobody had cap space. So, I thought he was a $12-15 million player, and we got him for, half that. So I thought that was a good value. And then Clarkson, listen, we got him for what he got. He's not an efficient player, but for a guy, for a vet min, to me, it was worth a shot. We could use, it's an upgrade over campaign. and Landry Shamet, in my opinion. So to get a guy in for that I wasn't tripping too much about that. But Yabusele too brings toughness too. We need a little bit more toughness too. We got to get a little more tough. I think we lost a lot of toughness when Devo and Julius left. And I think it took us a while to get that swagger back. Maybe until the Detroit series where they was really getting into us. So I thought we lost a lot of toughness when those two left.
Yeah, we definitely did. But we'll definitely see next season how tough the Knicks really are. There's a lot of pressure, so I ain't gonna put that much pressure.
What's your overall feel right now? What's the vibe right now for you, man, with this New York Knicks team right now? Because we ain't gonna see much action for a little bit. Obviously summer league is over. So there's gonna be a lot of downtime. So what's your feeling? Like how are you feeling entering this 25-26 season with this squad?
Get me another playmaker and I'll take you serious. Let me hear reports that Mohamed Diawara or Mohamed Diawara is crushing in practice. And the rookie got reps with the starters. That's what I want to hear. So, or give me a trade. But I'm intrigued. A lot of downtime. Hopefully, Leon Rose gets in the lab. Hopefully, he's in the lab right now. I'm hoping. I think he's in the lab right now. So, shout out to Leon Rose for doing the correct move this summer. And hopefully, we'll see. I think they're going to make another move within the next 2 weeks. I think Ben
How
Simmons,
big of a move? We're talking big move or a couple small moves here?
I think they're gonna make a big move. I think they're gonna trade like a couple of players because Mikal not being signed. That means that if you sign him right now, you're not gonna be able to trade him for the next 6 months. You're not gonna be able to trade him before 6 months. Ain't no way they're re-signing him. So I'm looking at it
because it's 6 months after, right? It's 6 months after you sign someone, right? Yeah, you can't. So that brings you to after the trade lockdown.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that.
You think they're gonna resign him? You think they're gonna resign him? What is it, 4 for 140?
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing it either, man. I know we gave up. Listen, I hated that we traded. I don't know if you know, but I love picks. I'm a picks guy. I think you got to develop guys, through the draft. So when we traded all those picks, I was, that hurt. But I still trying to value, like, is he still worth 4 for 140? Like, is he that? Like, I don't know. That's tough. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely don't know.
But my thing is, like, is everything predicated around making JB happy? Because if you don't re-sign Mikal, like I keep thinking about that aspect. Like, it used to be like I used to think about the roster, like, how does Tibbs, who fits Tibbs? And now I'm like, all right, what's gonna make JB happy? If you trade Hart, is that gonna upset him? If you don't re-sign Mikal, is that the mindset? That's there's a lot of things I've been thinking about, little things like that.
Man, friendships don't equal championships.
I agree. I'm with you. I agree, man. But it's a unique situation, though.
If he gets mad, that's on him.
No, you're right.
That's why I'm mad with it, yo. Shout out to Jalen. I love Jalen too, but he gets mad, that's on him. I'm not here to appease him. I'm here to win a championship. I hope that's Leon Rose and Mike Brown. Forward.
And listen, he's had some really good years, and now he goes from everybody loves him, but now it's like, okay, bro, we had a couple of solid years. We made the conference finals. Like, hey, man, it's time to show us that you want to be considered one of the elite players in the league. You gotta show out. So now the pressure for him is different now than it was when he first got here, or even this last year. Like, the pressure is going to be on for him. Like, hey, can you be a championship level, point guard now? Because we see Hallie took his team to and listen, if Hallie don't get hurt, because he was cooking that's game 7 versus OKC. Like, we could be talking about different things. So, like, there's a lot of pressure on him too to take, to make that next step.
We'll see.
So
we'll definitely see.
It's interesting times right now. So, do you have any faith in the young guys? making any contributions to this team.
Yeah, it's up to Mike Brown. Mike Brown got to play the young boys. Got to play the young boys. Can't do the Thibodeau thing no more. Enough.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go do different philosophy, different flow, different aura, different waves. So hopefully this year, this upcoming season, Mike Brown play some young guys. Hopefully the Knicks make a trade, a consolidation trade, and make their roster, make it look more athletic. That's what you need around Brunson. And I'm confident. I'm confident in Mike Brown, man. Confident in Mike Brown. First time we all see his zone, I think we'll all be happy. So that's it.
And just with open space, like the way he likes to, play up and down. I think, with summer league, especially with Kolek and McCullough, these guys, like they're playing in a lot of, their lanes are clogged up, especially when guys ain't making shots, the lanes get tighter. So I think with a more open space, I think those guys actually look better, and then except now we got, potentially Diwara, you got a lot more athletes too. So, I think I know a lot of people are down on the young guys after, the summer league, but, I feel like context is key, and I think they'll be all right. I think they'll be better than I think Tyler would be better, playing, in a more fast-paced, up-tempo type of style with Mike Brown. So I feel confident. And like I said, I'm with you. I feel good. I think Leon, cooking something potentially. I feel like I like the Mike Brown. It wasn't, the sexy hire. It wasn't my first choice, but they felt like they just needed to get an established coach and not try to, they need to make a pivot. I agree with the pivot from Tibbs to move on. A lot of teams have done this pivot. We've seen Toronto done it. They did it in the 19. We've seen the Warriors do it. We've seen a few teams do it, and it's led to, for good things. So hopefully we're in that same boat where, we're following those two teams' footsteps, and we holding that trophy. But we'll see. Any closing thoughts before we sign off, brother?
Leon make a trade.
Bold predictions? Any bold predictions? Anything you want to put up in the air?
No, I think Leon is gonna make a trade this summer. I think he's gonna make a trade this summer, for sure. Shouts to Knicks Wilder. Appreciate.
They surprised us with Cat. They surprised us with Cat last year. So
yeah, so I think he's gonna make a trade this summer. Just wait on it.
Okay.
Just wait on it.
Just gotta be patient. And listen, the Cat thing happened a couple of weeks before the season started or something like that, close to the season. So still got a lot of time left, but State, I appreciate you coming on the pod, bro. A lot of fun. Been trying to do this for a while, and finally got you on. Before we sign off, tell the people where they can find you, any projects going on. The floor is yours.
Yo, they know where they can find me, man. Be more like State. You type in State of New York Knicks in Google. I got another State article coming today. Shout out Substack. Going to talk about the Knicks Summer League and that article and the standouts. I know the Knicks, we still got 2 to 3 more roster spots going, so hopefully the Knicks get that hashed out. I'm gonna give my 3 people who I think those roster spots should go to. Got new merch coming out next week. I know SNYK, print find me or just DM me if you want something stitched. YouTube, you know where to find me, SNYK Podcast. You already know, man. Everybody already know where to find me, man. I appreciate Chris and all the lovely people that tuned in with us on this lovely Sunday. God bless you all. God bless y'all families, man. Really appreciate it, man. Chris, man, shout out to you too as well. Appreciate it. Love your show, man. Keep doing your thing, brother.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate, what you do. Just one more thing, and this came up just about content creation as a whole, right? It's obviously we see everybody wants to be in the content space, but it's hard to stand out. And you've built something really good. Despite people could think you crazy with your takes and stuff, you've really established a really good brand. So what's some of the keys for you that you felt like have been able for you that have made you been able to get to where you've gotten, so far in the creation game? Because we know there's a bunch of Knicks podcasts. There's a bunch of we've seen it. There's a million Knicks podcasts. But it's hard to stand out. So what do you feel like you've done that's really been able to help you throughout these last, however many years you've done this?
Do your own thing. That's it. Do your own thing.
Mhm.
Man. Do your own thing. Nah, you not. Yeah, a lot of people. I think a problem with a lot of people is like they sound like everybody else. So I don't be trying to sound like everybody else. I just do my own thing.
Mhm.
You know, it's crazy. I was on Reddit the other day. Like Reddit is a completely different social media realm than Twitter.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. Yep, it's this.
I like
It is.
Reddit. You know, I'm OP over there, so make sure y'all go follow me over there over Reddit, man. SOYK Podcast. But I'll be writing about anime and all of this nonsense, cartoons and stuff. But you know, you go over there on Reddit and you see like it's a whole different social media spectrum. So you gotta take
Mhm.
advantage of it. You gotta take advantage of AI. You gotta take advantage of like all these graphic apps. You gotta take advantage of everything. And you knew it was gonna happen. The Knicks started winning. I knew this was gonna happen. Like, I've been doing it for mad long. So shouts to
Mhm.
everybody, man. Be tuning in, man. Once again, shouts to you. Yeah, keep doing your thing. And people gonna say, "Oh, I don't like this take. Oh, I don't like that take." I don't care what you don't like. I'm telling you to take it, and either
Exactly.
you gonna like it or you don't. Like
That's what I respect about you. That you don't care. You're gonna stick whatever your take is. That's my take, and I'm sticking with you. You're not gonna convince me otherwise. To I said what I said, and this is what I'm gonna go with. A lot of people kind of backtrack and stuff, and you just go with it. So I respect that. I see you doing your thing, and I saw you did the spot on SNY, that's dope. I mean, that's cool, man. That's cool to do some TV stuff. With a so that's really dope. And to do all the stuff and to be for the players to know who you are. You're doing something, but keep grinding, bro. Keep grinding, bro. Because you're doing, you're doing some good things, and you're making a name for yourself. It's hard to do that. It's hard to stand out, and you're doing a good job, bro. So keep on grinding on that.
appreciate everybody in here, man. Once again,
For sure.
it's the New York Knicks podcast. Chris, love you, brother. Everybody, God bless all of you people, man. I'm out here, man. Hopefully, Chris. Shouts to my guy, Uncle Freezy. Just was over there with him, man. I'll make sure Chris send me the audio. I'll make sure I try to have these joints out Spotify later on today. I got another audio coming out later on today. So shouts to everybody, man. Once again, Chris, love you, brother. Peace out, bro.
Appreciate it.
Peace out to the
Yes,
chat,
sir.
too.
Yes, sir.
Love you guys, man.
Yeah. Yep. I'll drop the podcast link later. So if you want to check it out on audio platforms, Spotify, Google, whatever you listen to, make sure to check that out. But that's State from New York. Make sure to follow my own podcast platforms. Make sure to follow me on Off the Ball Pod on all social media platforms, on Instagram, TikTok, you name it, find me. Make sure to subscribe on the YouTube channel also. So on that note, be well, be safe, take care. Let's go Knicks.